You're not broke because you don't earn enough. You're broke because you save the wrong way. I know that sounds harsh, but stay with me. We've been taught that saving money is always a smart move, but what if I told you that most people are saving in ways that actually make them poorer? You might be saving in a bank account that's actually making you lose money. Or you're saving without a plan, without a goal, or in a merry-go-round that just goes nowhere. And then you wonder, why am I not getting ahead financially? But what if the real problem isn't how much you save, but where, why, and how you save it? In this video, we're going to break down the 7 biggest saving mistakes that most people are making in 2025 and how to fix them before it's too late. Make sure you stay till the end, because mistake number 4 is the silent wealth killer that almost no one is talking about. If you're serious about changing your financial future, don't skip a second of this. Mistake 1. Saving in banks. The first mistake that you're making in your savings is actually saving in banks. Yes, you heard it right. Saving in banks is a very, very big mistake. Bank accounts are mainly useful for transactions only. And I know you're probably thinking, why shouldn't I save in a bank? What's the problem with it? Let me explain it to you. Here's the real problem. If you've ever heard of something called inflation, then you already have part of the answer. Let me give you a simple example. Let's look at 2 people. One saves mainly in banks. The other saves in something like a money market fund. Right now, if you save money in a current bank account, you get little or no interest at all. And sometimes, you're not even planning to use that money for the next 6 months, maybe even a year or more. Now let's say inflation is at 7%. That means prices are going up by 7% this year. But your money in the bank is not growing at all. So by the end of the year, your savings grow by 0%, but inflation grows by 7%. The result is that your money is now worth 7% less than before. You didn't spend it, but you lost value. So, at the end of the year, you're actually 7% poorer. Now let's look at the person that saved their money in a money market fund that gives them around 9.5% per year. Inflation is still at 7%, but their savings grew by 9.5%. So their net growth is 9.5% interest, 7% inflation equals 2.5% gain. While you are 7% poorer, this person's 2.5% richer. Why? Because their money didn't just sit there. It worked. In 2025, you need to stop saving your money mainly in bank accounts. There are much better places to keep your savings, especially when saving for the short to medium term. Make sure your money is actually earning interest. Don't let inflation win. We are living in a time where inflation is high, so you simply can't afford to keep your money in a bank account that doesn't give you any returns. Mistake 2. Not attaching specific goals to your savings. I see many people start saving, and there's no clear reason why they're saving. Now, while that might be okay when you're just starting your financial freedom journey, it's not something I would advise you to keep doing. One of the best ways to save is what we call goal-based saving. Now, just saving without a plan is okay, but if you really want your savings to make a difference in your life, if you want your savings to be focused, useful, and serious, you must attach a goal to your savings. When you give your savings a purpose, you stay more focused on that goal. You stay committed. You take it seriously. It's no longer just saving, it means something to you. The savings that you don't attach any purpose to can be easily spent. Here's a better way. Let's say you open a savings account called a travel sinking fund, and you say, next year, when I turn 40, I want to go on a Euro trip or leave the country. Now, that goal means a lot to you, so you'll see that you hardly touch that account, because the purpose is strong. You care about it. It matters to you. That's why people become more disciplined when their savings are tied to a clear goal. If you're just saving for no reason, you have no direction, no plan, no reason. You'll find it easy to stop saving or even spend it on random things. But if there's a goal, a real purpose, saving becomes easier. Now there are 2 main goals I want you to focus on this year. The first is the emergency fund. You need a savings account for your emergency fund. Please make sure one of your savings accounts is an emergency fund. The second thing I really want you to focus on is your sinking funds. These involve things that usually throw us into debt, like home improvement, birthdays, anniversaries, Christmas, and other events. All those things that don't happen every month. You need to save for them in advance. Now let's say you've always wanted to start investing, but you don't have enough. Here's what you can do. Open a goal-based savings account, then start saving 5 to 10% every month. At the end of the year, you'll have enough to invest and cater for any of such needs. What I'm saying is, don't just open random accounts and say, I save here. That doesn't really work long term. But when your account has a purpose, you know exactly why you opened it, what it means to you, and what the result will be. You'll find that you save more and spend less from it. You'll be more disciplined in 2025 if every savings account has a purpose. You could take a minute to let me know in the comments if any of these mistakes resonated with you, and don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. Mistake 3. Not working with specific timelines for your goals. Just like we said earlier, goal-based saving is the best kind of saving. But the truth is, many of us don't work with a timeline. Let me give you an example. Let's say one of your goals this year is to raise $50,000 for an investment or a project you want to do. Now here's what many of us do. We don't work with a goal or a timeline or even a specific amount to be saving up. So what happens? You'll find someone just saving $1,000 or $2,000 every month. Now let's assume you're very consistent. You start in January and save $2,000 every month. At the end of the year, you'll have only saved $24,000, which is almost half of your goal. That's why you must always ask yourself, what do I want and how much will it cost me? When do I want it? And how much do I need to save every month? You need to be strategic and goal-based with your savings. One reason saving is not working for many of us is because we're not intentional. We're saving randomly. We don't know how much we need, when we need it, or how much we should be contributing every month. Many people open savings accounts with good intentions. They truly want to save. They've even taken that first step, and that's great. But even with all that effort, they still don't hit their goal. Why? Because they didn't plan properly. They didn't set clear amounts or timelines. Plan first, then save. Be as specific as you can. Mistake 4. Saving money in group contribution schemes. Now wait, before you switch off this video, hear me out. Let me explain why I'm saying this. How do group contribution schemes work? A group of friends come together and they all agree to contribute a specific amount every month. So at the end of the month, one person in the group receives that full amount, and that continues until each member receives their share. But here's the bitter truth. Your money isn't growing. Just like banks and inflation, the same thing is happening here. Your money in the group contribution groups is not earning you interest. It's not growing. It's just going round in circles. Now, the only time I would say it's okay to save this way is if you truly struggle to save money on your own. You know you need group pressure to stay disciplined. Other than that, let's be honest, those days are gone. So let's say you're the last person to receive the total amount. That means you've waited for many months to receive your turn. But imagine instead, you opened your own money market fund or personal savings account and saved that amount monthly. In the same months, you'd still have your total amounts, as you will get in the group contribution group with some interest. So again, group contributions don't make sense unless you really can't save on your own. If you rely on group contribution schemes just because you can't save alone, you need to know that you're paying for it and you're paying a heavy price. Because your money isn't earning any returns, and every month inflation is eating into it. Let me say this clearly. Group contribution should be for investing, not saving. If you're already in a group contribution, please make sure your group is putting money together for investment purposes. Mistake 5. Not increasing your savings when your income goes up. Another mistake many people make is not increasing their savings when their income increases. This one is called lifestyle creep. Let's say your life has changed for the better. Maybe you started a new business that's doing well. Or you got a better paying job. Maybe you received a raise or a bonus at work. Your income has gone up. But here's the problem. Most people will upgrade everything else in their life except their savings. You earn more, and instead of saving more, you spend more. If your savings haven't grown, you haven't grown. Let me remind you, if your income has increased, but your savings and investments have not, then that money hasn't helped your future. Because once that extra money is spent, it's gone. It hasn't helped you build wealth. It hasn't moved you closer to financial freedom. Wealth is what's left after you've spent. Not what you earn, but what you keep. So if your income goes up, let your savings and investments go up too. One of the best ways to do this is to use a percentage system, like saving a particular percent of your money. Let's say you earn $1 million monthly and save 30% monthly. That's $300,000. If you start earning $3 million, you should now be saving $1 million, because you're still saving 30% of your income. That's how you make sure your higher income is helping you build wealth, not just spend more. Before we continue, if you're enjoying this video so far, give it a thumbs up. Feel free to share it with your family and friends. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to be the first to see our updates. All right, let's dive back into the video. Mistake 6. Buying more things to save money. Another saving mistake that many people don't realize they're making is buying more things just to save money. Now, I know that sounds strange, because we've been trained to think that discounts, sales, and bulk deals are smart money moves. You see a big red sticker that says, "Buy 2, get 1 free," or "Save $50 when you spend $250," and suddenly it feels like a smart thing to do. But is it really? Let's pause and think about it. In most cases, you didn't even plan to buy that thing. You didn't need 3 bottles of shampoo or 5 extra packs of cereal, but because of the promotion, you convinced yourself you were getting a great deal. So instead of spending $800 like you originally planned, you walk out having spent $1,600 just so you can save $200. Now let's be honest, did you really save money? Because at that moment, what you really did was spend more than you intended on things you probably didn't need right now. And that's the trap. You feel like you're being wise with your money, but in the end, it's the shop, the brand, and the store that actually wins. They made you feel like you were in control, but you weren't. Here's how you should look at it. If you didn't need it, if you didn't plan for it, or if it wasn't in your budget, then it doesn't matter how good the deal is. It's still overspending. Sometimes we even buy things in bulk thinking we're saving, but they expire before we use them, or we forget about them completely. And now, instead of saving money, you've wasted money. It's emotional spending disguised as smart shopping. Mistake 7. Thinking savings is about motivation. The final mistake I want to talk about is relying on motivation to save. Every year, especially in the first few months, many people are very motivated. They want to save, build an emergency fund, invest, or start a business. But after a few months, the motivation fades. And then what happens? They stop saving, and they make excuses. And before you know it, the whole year is gone and you've saved nothing. Let me remind you, saving is the foundation of building wealth. Yes, we all know you don't get rich just by saving. You must invest. But where does the money for investment come from? From saving. So stop depending on motivation. Motivation is just a feeling, just like happiness or anger or being excited. You feel motivated today, and then tomorrow you're tired or moody or broke, and the motivation is gone. That's why it's not safe to rely on motivation to reach your goals, including your savings goals. What you need is discipline and consistency. It's not always fun, it's not always exciting, but if you want your money to grow, you have to show up consistently whether you feel like it or not. And if you keep starting and stopping your savings every few months, by the end of the year, your story will be the same. So here's what I want you to remember. Saving money is important, but how you save, where you save, and why you save is what makes the real difference. If your savings aren't growing, if your money has no goal, if you're just saving for the sake of saving, then don't be surprised when the money doesn't move your life forward. Now that we've talked about some of the biggest saving mistakes people are making in 2025, here's the big question. What will you do differently? Because the truth is, knowledge alone won't change your financial future. Action will. You've seen how inflation quietly eats away your savings. You've seen how saving without a goal or without a timeline or in the wrong places holds you back. So now it's your turn. Go and look at your savings accounts right now. Ask yourself, why do I have this account? What goal is it helping me achieve? Is it growing or just sitting there? Am I saving with intention or just out of habit? And if you are not sure where that savings fits in, then that's your sign. That's where the change starts. Let 2025 be the year you stop saving randomly. Let this be the year you build structure into your savings, not because it sounds good, but because your goals matter. Your future matters, and you deserve to reach them. And listen, you don't need to start with big amounts. Even 1,000 or 2,000 a month with a clear plan can take you far. And if you're serious about leveling up financially, mentally, and as a builder of your future, check out the next videos lined up for you. And don't forget to leave a comment if you want me to break down any part of this even further. And of course, subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a lesson that could be the turning point in your financial journey. Because this isn't just about money. It's about building a life you don't have to escape from.